Here we're going to look at adding and subtracting a positive number. We're going to model this using counters. So a coloured counter represents -1 or -1, and a white coloured counter represents +1. Now if I have two of these together, two of them together is actually 0, because a 1 take away a 1 is equal to 0. Now showing you with some examples of the best way, we're going to do addition first of a positive number. This is -1 plus 2. So what I do is I place into my addition area a -1. That's that first number. And I'm going to add to the area 2 positive units. There's one, and there's the other. Now remembering that a yellow counter and a white counter together are 0, we can remove those counters from the problem. So these two counters are 0, and I can take them away, leaving an answer of +1. In this next addition problem, -3 plus 7, I start with 3 negative counters, and I add in 7 positive counters. And we can see that each pair of yellow and white is a 0, and we can take them out of the problem. So they disappear, and they disappear. And that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, +4. We don't need to put the little positive for a positive number. In my third example, we're going to do -3 plus, so we're going to add things in, 3 units. So first I put in my 3 negatives, and now I add in 3 positives. So every pair of yellow and white I cross out, that's a 0, take them out. If you're doing this with real counters, you just take them away from your adding zone. And I'm left with nothing. So -3 plus 3 is equal to 0. In this next example, example 4, we're going to start with -4 numbers, and we're going to add 2 positives. So we'll put our 4 negative counters in. There they are. And we need to add to our calculation area 2 positive ones. So you can see for a yellow and a white is actually 0, so I can take them out. This time I'm going to rub them out, it's a bit neater. So they're gone. And these two, a yellow and a white, are also gone. And I'm left with an answer of -2. So that's equal to -2. I could do this same problem with a number line. The first number tells me where to start, -4. So I'll put some other numbers on my number line. My second number my second thing tells me I'm adding, so I'm going to head in the positive direction, which is this way. And I'm going to move 2 units. So I start at -4, move in the positive direction, 2 units, and I end up at -2. So 2 different models for getting the same answer when I add a positive number. In the fifth problem, I have -6 plus 5. So I start with -6 counters, and I add 5 positive counters. This time I'm going to put them over the top, and every time I put them over the top, that becomes a 0. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can see that our answer to that problem, or they're all gone, they're all 0s, leaves us one yellow counter, which is -1. Again, I could do this on the number line. And if I have a number line that goes here, and I start, the first number is -6, and I have to add, so I go in the positive direction, 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where do we end up? Let's see. So minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. And so we end up with the same answer using the number line model. All right, now we need to look at some examples for subtraction of a positive number. This time we start with a counter for the first number, in this case -1, but we're subtracting. That means we've got to take away from the calculation area 2 positives, but there are not 2 positives there. So what we do now is we add a 0 pair. We can add as many 0 pairs as we need until we can see there's 2 white counters we can take out of the calculation area. So here are the 2 zeros, they're not going to affect our calculation. And now we can see we do have 2 positives we can take out. So we use a rubber this time, we'll get rid of that one and that one. And you can see that that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 3 negatives, which is -1. -3. You can do this same problem with a number line. The first number tells us where to start, which is -1. But this time we're subtracting, and subtraction works towards the negative direction. So we're going to subtract 2 places, 1, 2. So let's see where we end up on the number line. Now 0 is over here, so when I go this way, that'll be a -2. And this would be a -3. So we can see we get the same answer with the number line. In the second example, we're going to do 1 take 4. So we start off with a +1 in our calculation area. Now it tells us that we've got to take away 4 of these, but there's only 1 here to take away. Once again, I can add zeros, a pair, a white and a yellow one, until I have enough of the white ones to take away. So I've got to take away 4 of those. Okay, I only had to add 3 zeros. Now I have enough of the white ones to take away. So I need to take away 4 of them from my calculation zone. That's 2, 3, 4. And that gives us a final answer of 1, 2, 3, -3. Now I can do the same thing using a number line. So I'll draw my number line in. The first number tells us where to start. We start at the number 1, and the 0 is right next to it there. And it tells us to subtract. When we subtract, we head in the negative direction, and we're going to subtract 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's where we're going to go. Let's see where we end up. So that's -1, -2, -3. So you can see with the number line we can get the same answer.